January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Good evening to you. I'm Jennifer Andrews. Gabby Ballou joins us from the newsroom to tell us how to recognize it. Gabby, what can you tell us?
Jennifer, according to the Governor's Office of Human Trafficking Prevention report, over 1,700 victims received services in 2023.
It happens right in our backyard all the time. People just don't know what they're looking at.
Lauren Laughlin is the Regional Care Coordinator for Child and Youth Trafficking Victims at the Children's Advocacy Center. She says human trafficking is an alarming issue all across the state, and most cases that she deals with are children who are in middle and high school.
That's where we see a lot of the cases of them being targeted online and falling into things that they don't even realize because they don't see the red flags until it's too late.
Some of the signs to look for if you suspect someone is being trafficked are unexplained or suspicious injuries, being fearful of going home, physical exhaustion or malnourishment, and anxious or submissive behavior.
And I think that people just recognize it more because we continue to work to build awareness and to educate people on what it is, and people are realizing what they're seeing and reporting it.
According to the Governor's Office of Human Trafficking Prevention report, 83% of victims who received services were 17 and under, and over 15% were over the age of 18. Plus, 84% of victims were female. Laughlin says it's important for people to be aware of it.
Increase in the education and awareness is the biggest piece, and getting it into the hands of who's actually vulnerable and who needs that information.
For more information on how to report and recognize signs of human trafficking, visit our website at knoe.com.